Hello, welcome to Ruth's Music and the Spoken Word. I'm happy to be back. Conference did not disappoint. It was amazing. Highly recommend you go watch some of it if you haven't, or rewatch it. But this evening I'm going to talk a little bit about my growing things. I already introduced you to the fig and baby fig, as I like to call it. And I'm actually going to do a couple of updates on a few of the things I talked about before with my growing things, but then I'm going to introduce you to some new things. Back out in my front garden, hi Shadow, hi! My freesia are just as gorgeous and aromatic as ever. They are in the cycles of life, brand new pieces coming in right here, others dying. Yeah, that one's coming off right there. So a variety, but just still beautiful. I have these red, Mother thought they might be amaryllis or some kind of lily. They grow a lot around here. And then my fire, I'll have to tell you about these ones another day sometime. It'll take too long. But these are coming up, the red ones. And then my ranunculus, they're actually looking so much prettier. They're living up to what I expected. I guess they just needed a little bit longer this year, which makes sense because I planted them a little bit later. So they're really pretty. I like these pink ones right here. They close up at night and they open, you know, like some kinds of flowers do for the sun. I came back from running the other morning and they were all tight again, like new buds. And that's when I realized they did that. Probably the red ones that have the open and maybe those purple over there. Anyway, so they're doing really well, really beautiful. Out in the back, we have baby fig, whose name is baby fig for now. Kind of like a Native American. Maybe when it grows up it gets another name, but for now it's just baby fig. You can see the comments below about baby basil, which I think is what inspired baby fig's name. And I don't know if you can tell, but the leaves actually are getting bigger. And I suspect it is growing taller. I need to find some way to mark it so that I can mark it, not mark it, so that I can tell and you can tell. But it is doing really well. It's looking great. Thank you for the children and adults that are praying for it. I appreciate it. And baby fig appreciates it apparently because it's doing well. Thank you. So here we are on my kitchen table where I have a variety of projects going on. First of all, we have here a little baby citrus that the Smiths gave me, the same Smiths from the fig tree. And it's just growing. I need to figure out where I'm going to put it. So there it is. Then today at lunchtime, I planted some herbs. We have sage, oregano, thyme, lavender, and rosemary. And I couldn't find my colored popsicle sticks, so paintbrushes it was. So those got planted today at lunch, and we'll see how they go over the next few weeks. Over here I have my sweet potatoes, who are going to grow slips for me, hopefully. They are already going to town. That one especially. This one has a little bit, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but it has a little bit. So my mother asked me yesterday how exactly it was going to work, and I said, I don't know. I did exactly what I always do when I don't know what I'm doing. I read all the instructions to see if there was anything that stood out as absolutely unmanageable, and then I didn't see any of those, so I don't remember most of the instructions. I went back to step one and I followed step one. That's where they are right now in their water, and when that part's done, I will read step two. But I don't remember how the rest works. But I'm excited to try that out and plant some this summer. And then I have here these little seeds. These are okra seeds, and I'm going to plant them today. So I'm going to take them out and show you my garden. And my mother recommends soaking them overnight the day before, so I put them in last night. Here's what an okra seed that didn't get soaked, it escaped last night and I couldn't find it in the dark. That's what it looks like. And then you can see them here. darker, fatter. One of them already has a little thing coming out. So there they are. We're gonna go outside and plant them. Here we are in my raised bed. Bright afternoon sunlight, not the best, but it's when I have time, so that's what we're dealing with. Here are my bean plants coming up. So happy. So happy. I'm gonna need to replace in a few spots, but there they are. And over here, we have my cucumbers, happy as can be. And strawberry plants that are settling in. They're not doing great, but they're doing okay. They're still alive after their great migration, so I'll take that. Then over here in this area, I'm going to pull out these weeds that have come along, and I'm going to plant some okra seeds. And I forgot to read how far apart to put my okra plants, so I'll probably have to take a little pause here to look that up. Clemson says that okra should be planted in rows 3 to 6 feet apart. I'm not concerned about that, with 9 to 12 inches between the seeds at a depth of 3/4 of an inch. Many gardeners plant multiple seeds per hole to ensure a good stand, and will go back and thin out extra okra seedlings so that only one plant remains. That makes me sad, so I don't think I'll do that. I can always replant. You can plant okra through July. So if some of them don't come up, kind of like my green beans down there, I can always replant later in the spots where they didn't come up. So as I plant these okra, I can't help but think about conference yesterday, and those magical beans down there, for example, and the cucumbers, and these okra are going to do the same thing. I'm planting this little tiny seed. But inside of this seed is life, and it's going to grow. And just like those little seeds went in, and not too long later, now they're plants, and pretty soon they will be big plants in just a few weeks, and then they will have fruit for me in a few weeks later. And listening about the restoration this weekend, and how God started with small, simple things, but they've grown, and incredible miracles have already happened, and so many more are going to happen, and it's really very exciting. Life is exciting, things growing, and from little things, great things coming to pass. It's just a wonderful, wonderful experience to get to be part of, and I'm happy. Time to go water. Hello, I'm back. Here to water my seeds. The rest of my garden I watered pretty deeply a couple of days ago, so I don't need the hose. I really just need these seeds to get wet in this ground where they're going to be. So I'm just going to use my little watering pot and gently water this area. And while I water, I'm going to sing a song to you and my plants. Faith is knowing the sun will rise, lighting each new day. Faith is knowing the Lord will hear my prayers each time I pray. Faith is like a little seed. If planted, it will grow. Faith is a swelling within my heart. When I do right, I know. Faith is knowing I lived with God before my mortal birth. Faith is knowing is trust in God above, in Christ who showed the way. Faith is strengthened, I feel it grow, whenever I obey. Have a wonderful day.